Good morning to all present here. Respected guests, speakers, dear participants, and my beloved teachers. I really feel honored to be the part of this particular webinar on theme Samatvam Yog Uchyate. Actually, today we all are gathered here to discuss about the importance of yoga. So here I am here, Dr. Sonish Punia, who will be discussing about the various concepts of psychosis and especially focusing on the fear psychosis. As we all know that COVID-19 has usually has come into our way in a destructive form, and this is a enemy which cannot be seen. So I will be today discussing about the form of COVID-19, how it has affected our psychological well-being and how it has induced fear amongst the population. So let us start with the introduction of the COVID-19. As we all know that it is a virus-causing disease, and COVID-19 has been usually divided into three dimensions. According to my perception, I have divided into the three dimensions. First dimension is it is related to the stress. It is related to the worry. Actually, we all are sitting in an isolated home situations which we are not actually habitual of. So first dimension is it is related to the stress. Second dimension is about the respiratory disorders, and the third dimension is about the immune system problems, which is the main cause behind this particular disease. It is actually damaging our immune system and respiratory system. So the question arises how yoga and different form of yoga or meditation can help us to enable or control this particular pandemic. So it is a very important task to discuss in this particular webinar, how yoga will be helpful in controlling the present situation and how it will be helpful in controlling the psychological well-being of the present generation, which is actually deployed of their jobs, which is actually deployed of the relationships, and which is actually deployed of the current situation control. They don't know about how to control their physical and the mental status. So even you can see that the most advanced and developed countries, they all have been brought to their knees by something very small or something we cannot see. That is the virus. Actually, virus we cannot see it. It is a very invisible enemy. So this virus is a form of invisible enemy. It has a very large army behind it, and it is very fastly traveling in through our immune system. It is very fastly traveling to one person to another person. So it is not alone. The virus is invisible enemy, but it is not alone. It has accompanied with the one more invisible enemy within us, that is called as the fear. Fear is also the invisible enemy which is present inside. Virus is the invisible enemy which is present outside. So when these two invisible enemies combine, they will destruct ourselves. They will destruct our immune system, they will destruct our mental state, they will destruct the individual as a whole. So within a period of 4 to 5 months, since starting from the January, you can see that almost 5 months have covered, and you have seen that every human being in this planet Earth, every human being in this planet Earth has been affected directly or indirectly by this virus, and it has brought out the worst fear in each and every one of us. We all are very in a state of very fearful environment. The environment outside, when you go, you are very much fearful about the things. You have an instinct of fear inside yourself. Like if you will go without mask, then the virus will be attacking you. If you will go without sanitizer in your pocket, then you are unsafe. So the feeling of insecurity and fear has arisen to the maximum level in this particular situation. So fear is actually, when we discuss about the fear, what is fear actually? So fear is an original, primordial response of all living beings. Fear is the normal response which is present in each and every individual, which is shown at a particular situation, arised at the particular individual level. So it is a primordial response of all living organism which arises from within and when faced with the threat of danger and uncertainty, when we feel that there is something dangerous environment outside, or we feel that we are in a very uncertain situation, the fear arises within us. It has proved to be the vital asset enabling survival of both the individual as well as the species. Actually, fear is important. It is very vital asset. It is very important asset which makes us to which helps us in the survival. Actually, you have seen that in ancient times, when we talk about the you can say the people, they used to have fear of animals, they used to have fear of forest and other things. So when they were living in the forest, they were living in the caves, they were very fearful with each and every species. They were having the situation like, if they will not attack the other animal, that animal will be attacking them, and he will be taking that particular life. So at that time, fear is very much important for the fight and flight situation when arises. So it is very important for the survival. But as a result, it has become a part and parcel of our very existence also. We are existing because of fear only. Because we are having fear for the virus. That's why we are making an attempt to discover a virus. We are making an attempt to discover a particular vaccine for the particular virus which is attacking us. So it is important for the discoveries. It is important for the natural survival of the individual. It triggers the perception, but what it happens? It triggers the perception of stress that results in all the cascade of events in the stress response that are driven by the sympathetic nervous system. So actually what happens when we feel fear, it will trigger our sympathetic nervous system, and all the events related to sympathetic nervous system will be happening in our body in a continuous manner. Sympathetic nervous system is associated with the increasement in the physiological profile of our body, and parasympathetic in contrast will be depressing the particular symptoms of the physiological responses. So while this serves the purpose of enabling our survival, but the overdose of it, actually fear is important, but the overdose of fear, it will trigger our destruction from within. Actually, it will trigger the destruction from the within, that is from the sympathetic nervous system. Optimum level of arousal in the sympathetic nervous system is important, but overdose of it will result in the damage. So fear will damage you from inside. So that's why it is called as the invisible enemy, which will destruct you from inside. So today, that's why we are dealing with this particular invisible enemy. And this particular fear will enable these stressors, and that stressors will activate our all glandular system. They will, from hypothalamus, there will be a trigger into the different glands. Your thymus gland will be activated, your adrenal gland will be activated, and adrenal gland secretes the stress hormone that we all know, that glucocorticoids and other hormones are secreted from that side, and they will ultimately increase the activity, the metabolic level of your body. So the increased activity will be there in the body because of increased sympathetic activities. So, but this increasement in the condition of stress, in the condition of fear, that will reduce the power of immune system. That will affect negatively on the immune system. That's why there is a very strong positive correlation between the sympathetic nervous system activation and the immune system decreasement. So we have to consider this a very serious problem, and COVID-19 has brought this another kind of pandemic that we term as the fear psychosis. That is originated from within. Fear psychosis is the term which is given to this particular condition. Everyone, everywhere today is scared of death, and this is further aggravated and worsened by the unrelenting onslaught of the news from the medias, because the media is nowadays exploding very much. They are giving the death counts regularly. They are giving the number of people who are suffering from the pandemic, number of people they are daily to daily, how much people are losing their life. So all these things are very much they are shown in an exaggerated manner through the media. which will create more fear within the individual, or it will directly or indirectly affect the whole population because of that. Some individuals who are facing such incidents with minimal disruption to their daily life, they do not have been affected by these particular things, they do not take it seriously, while some other people experience extreme stress or even painful psychological problems, including the anxiety and depression. So if an individual is a working individual, he has to go regularly outside, especially your corona warriors who are regularly treating these peoples and who are regularly going out for their duties. They are under very extreme stress and very painful psychological situation. This state of being is coined as the psychosis. They are developing a kind of psychosis which will basically affect an individual's thoughts, feelings and behaviors. So according to that psychosis, their thoughts are affected, their feelings are affected, and their behavior patterns are being affected, and they are changing, on a regular basis. And one more term is their paranoia, and this name is also, this is another name of the fear psychosis, and it is the extreme emotional state combined with the cognition. And this degree of fear, the degree of fear is characterized by the transformation of an individual's normal behavior into the extreme or maladapted behavior. So here we can say that the normal behavior is changed into something else. They will be doing according to their situation. The mind will be adapted. Their mind will be doing a particular kind of thing in a different situation. So this particular situation is known as the paranoia. So few psychiatrists have said that fear psychosis is basically accompanied with the anxiety. How you will find it that you are suffering from the fear psychosis? So fear psychosis is basically accompanied with the anxiety, and individual seems to relate to traumatic experience of for more than a while. So that particular individual will be suffering from some or the other kind of traumatic experiences from some duration. So that's why the fear psychosis arises because of that. So however, it does not last. Few psychiatrists have said that it doesn't last longer than 2 or 3 days, but still it needs to be treated, otherwise it is very fatal for the life. So people develop a fear for these kind of situations like COVID-19 and earthquake or other kind of natural calamities are happening. So people develop fear for these situations, and they will try to avoid the public areas. Nowadays we have seen that you are said to be isolated, you are said to be individualistic in nature, so that because it is a kind of communicable form of virus which will be affecting one person to another person. So people have developed the fear for public areas. This kind of behavior will affect their social life very badly. And in present scenario, COVID-19, cyclones, earthquakes, as I mentioned, they have dominated the news media also, as I previously said. So such events and excessive media coverage of destruction, bloodshed, and dead bodies, like weeping relatives they have seen in front of their eyes, and others are also seeing them. So this will often result in the traumatic stress that will further affect those who are not the direct part of this mishap. For example, if you are watching TV and a news channel is showing that these particular scene of a family where 2 or more person are were corona positive, and they have recently found lost their life, they have lost the battle of COVID-19, and they will show you the video, or they will show you the photographs, very sensitive photographs of these people. So this will affect directly or indirectly to the normal people, and they will develop a kind of fear inside their mind about that particular kind of situation. They will fear about their own situation in that scenario. They will fit themselves in that scenario, and they will feel more fear about that. So we have to see over that situation, like this fear psychosis. We have to be focused on that, whether we have to be fearful for some for that particular situation, or we have to analyze it carefully. So this is our responsibility, that we have to very carefully see the media coverage in a proper manner and perceive it in a proper manner, so that the fear will not dominate in our body. So in recent time, a branch of modern medical science has developed, and it is known as the psychoneuroimmunology. To deal with fear psychosis, we have a branch of medical science that is known as the psychoneuroimmunology, and it deals with the phenomena of how our thoughts, emotions affect our immune system. So our emotions, our thoughts, they have a very direct correlation with the immune system, as I had already discussed through the example of sympathetic nervous system. So that will directly affect our immune system. This stress, fear, negative emotions, they will weaken our immune system. And when we talk about the immune system, there is a part limbic system which is present in our brain. It is a set of structures in the brain which deals with the instincts, moods, emotions and the memory, and that plays a major role in triggering the such kind of emotions that will appeal then in resulting awakening of the immune function. So we have to carefully notice about the limbic system also, because when we are thinking negatively, when we are thinking in a very stressful situation, when we are dealing with a very stressful situation, at that time the limbic system will be activated, and that limbic system, that is directly connected with the trigger of the emotion upheaval in our body, and that will weak our immune system. So when the immune function is weakened, our every microbe gets a chance to attack our body, and that will damage our defense system, that will weaken our defense system. So our immune system is very much important to control that microbes to enter our body and to fight against those microbes. So fear, especially of the magnitude which has been experienced and expressed by all of us in the present time, will totally destroy any chance we have of fighting this devious enemy. So this fear will damage all the hope of being well. Actually, it will make ourselves very much weak at the mental and at the physical level, and we will lose every battle of our life if we will suffer from the fear psychosis. So we have to light a hope in the form of yoga, including like meditation, mindful meditation, positive emotion in our mind, and relaxation, and various kind of asanas and pranayam practices, yamas and niyams, which will strengthen our immune system. So the ray of hope in our life is in the form of yoga. We have to accept it. And in the ancient times, the Yoga Vasishtha, which was confined at least 5,000 years ago, has already understood this phenomena of fear psychosis, and they have mentioned it in the form of psychosomatic phenomena. And Yoga Vasishtha has already discussed about the psychosomatic phenomena, and they have termed this particular psychosomatic phenomena as Adi Vyadhi. So that is already told 5,000 years ago in the Yoga Vasishtha. So our culture is very much rich in the form of yoga therapies, in the form of medicinal field, in the form of Ayurveda. It is already very much strong. We just need to find the solution from our text. We need to find the solutions from our ancient practices. So Adi Vyadhi is already termed in that. So when we talk about Adi and Vyadhi, there are two words. Adi is the mental agitations or the physical agitations which is present in our body, and Vyadhi is the manifestation of these mental agitations, that is in the form of disease, that we call as in the form of stress. So Adi Vyadhi, when we talk about, we have to focus on the Panchkosh, which has already discussed in the previous lectures. Like our body has 5 sheets, and when we talk about the Panchkosh, we have the Manomay Kosh, Annamay Kosh, which is very much important to understand about the Adi Vyadhi. So Manomay Kosh, at the level of Manomay Kosh, the Adhis are situated in the form of mental agitation. So Manomay Kosh is a third most layer of the Panchkosh, and there arises the mental fluctuations, there arises the thought process, there arises the flow of various negative thoughts and the emotions. So that is called as the mental agitation, and it is present in the Manomay Kosh. These mental agitations, they will automatically disrupt the flow of pran in our body, and the flow of pran disrupted is in the form of it will happen in the Pranamay Kosh. So Manomay Kosh is affecting our Pranamay Kosh directly. So the thoughts, negative feelings, negative situations, they will ultimately affect your Pranamay Kosh, in the form of unstable nadis, in the form of unstable flow of pran. So this unstable nadis and unstable flow of pran will automatically will be manifested or shown to the Annamaya Kosh. The Annamaya Kosh is the outermost layer, our body, that is made up of Anna. So this Annamaya Kosh, it will be shown, and these at the Annamaya Kosh level, the Vyadhis will be seen. So Adhi is present at Manomaya Kosh in the form of psychic or the psychological disorders, and this psychological unstableness, that is shown as the form of disease or the psychological disease or the disorder at the Annamaya Kosh, that are known as the Vyadhi. So Vyadhi is the form of disease or the disorders, which is but the basic reason behind the Vyadhi is the Adhi. So there is the concept of Adhi and Vyadhi, and there is the concept of cause and effect relationship between the Adhi and Vyadhi. So cause is the Adhi and the effect which is shown is the Vyadhi. So our body is showing the effect that we finally feel that we are suffering from some or the other kind of disease. Like when we have the fever, the symptoms that are shown, they are the Vyadhis. So we have to understand this phenomena of Adhi and Vyadhi. It is from inside, not from outside. So fear is residing inside. We have to fight our inner enemy. We have to fight from inside so that our outside body, that our physical body is will be healthy. So we have to first make our mind healthy, then our physical body will be healthy automatically. So how this will happen? We need to focus on the salutogenesis. The yoga suggests that we need to focus on the salutogenesis. Salutogenesis is known as the swasth, and this swasth is the our inherent capacity or the inherent responsibility to make our body healthy. So health and happiness, they are the measures of a very prolonged life. So if we need a prolonged life, then we have to be healthy and we have to be happy. That phenomena is present in the salutogenesis. And but our recent medical terminologies, our recent medical situations, they focus on the pathogenesis. They focus on the pathogens which are present behind any kind of disease. But there is not only always a pathogen behind any disease, because the psychological disease doesn't have any kind of pathogen at their base. So we need to focus on the concept of Adhi and Vyadhi rather than the pathogenesis concept to disease, to decrease our fear. So salutogenesis should be focused, and the focus of salutogenesis is on health and strengthening all our systems. So yoga empowers us and it enables us to take charge of our own life, thus promoting the holistic health for each and every one of us. So holistic health concept is the concept of salutogenesis. We have to focus on this, and it is already proved medically, and that is the healthiest way of achieving the prolonged life, and that our test also suggests that. But when we are focusing on the today's scenario, sometimes we have seen that there is an empirical correlation in something you do and something you see, and some outcome will be something else. But we have to understand that scientifically, that clinicians, scientists, practitioners, they have to be they are expected to be working together and make use of the modern tools of the life and modern tools of the biosciences to understand that something will be to understand the concept of Adhi Vyadhi, and to understand the concept of yoga behind the salutogenesis, behind the healthy and happiest life. So we have to be very much efficient in working in this direction. We are not only or we should not only just depend upon the pathogenesis, and we should not only just depend upon the modern medical sciences. We have to focus on the alternate medicines, alternate therapies, and we have to very much clear in our mind about that. So yoga, when we talk about the yoga has many various stages. Ashtanga yoga, when we talk about, it has 8 limbs, and there are many forms of yoga. So when we talk about the yoga, the first step in our mind comes is the form of yam and niyam. So today we have seen in the present scenario, we all are following Yam and Niyam. Yam and Niyams were the principles of cleanliness, purity, self-control, and these principles we are following in our daily life also, which are the most important phenomena for the present scenario. And we are taught about social distancing through various social medias in the government, and in this Yam and Niyam it is also mentioned that we have to focus on the social and physical distancing. Personal hygiene is emphasized by all the medical authorities nowadays, which is already present in the principles of Yam and Niyam. And along with that, one more thing we are nowadays following is the sense of seva and nishkarma yoga. Like we all are distributing food and free food, water, and the essential amenities required for the survival of the people to the poor people. We are supplying these with our side. So this is the sense of seva and nishkarma bhav, which is already present. This concept is already present in our text, and we are all Indians are following this. So it is also very much important, which will help to make the needy people survive in this particular situation. So by doing following Yam and Niyam, by doing the sense of seva and nishkarma yoga, we are actually cleaning our psychic level. Actually we are cleaning our psychological sheet by doing these things. And in our yoga we have the concept of mantra meditation. So we all are very much being in Hindi tradition, we all are very much aware about the power of mantras, and they are scientifically also proven that the mantras are very powerful source of energy. So we have the mantra of Mahamrityunjay mantra, like Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvar Kumeva Pantanat Mrityor Mokshiyam Amritat. So this particular mantra is recited to overcome the fear of mortality, fear of death, which will that poison which is fueled by the abhinivesh klesh. How this fear of mortality comes? It comes from the kleshas. We have panch kleshas in our body, and these panch kleshas, the mother of panch kleshas is the avidya, and avidya is making us to realize that we are unsafe in this world. So it will be triggering the abhinivesh klesh in our mind. So abhinivesh will be making us more unstable, and it will be creating fear in our body. So we have to focus on the phenomena that the kleshas are very much important to be controlled, and we have to control the abhinivesh klesh in our body. So Patanjali Maharshi tells us that this primitive survival urge, like we all want to survive. So this primitive survival urge can overcome even the wisest of the wise. Nobody is you can say nobody is spared because of that. And unless the kleshas are attenuated, unless the kleshas are removed, they are controlled, we cannot be strong, and that is why we need to induce the triple vaccine. So Patanjali ji has mentioned the formula of triple vaccine in the form of Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is a form of yoga in which three limbs are there: Tap, Swadhyay and Ishwar Pranidhan. That's why it is called as the triple vaccine. And this triple vaccine is a powerful source against this COVID-19 and the present situation in which everyone is fighting for the survival. We have to do tap, we have to do Swadhyay, and we have to do all our karma, nishkarma, and that karmas should be devoted towards the Ishwar. That is called as the Ishwar Pranidhan. So it will help us to deal with the effective blow of death that is happening in the COVID-19. It will help us to deal with that particular scenario. So the ancient practice of yoga, when many researches are made on that, and it is also said that the ancient practice of yoga can provide a sustainable exercise alternative for thousands of people isolating at home today. And a new research from the University of South Australia shows that the movement-based yoga can significantly improve the mental health of the people that are living at the home, that are working from home. And the world first study conducted in the partnership with the Federal University of Santa Maria, Sydney, King's College London and Western Sydney University, they have found that the movement-based yoga improves the mental health of the people living with a range of mental disorders at that particular time, and with the benefits being incremental with the amount of yoga they practice. If they will practice more yoga, the benefit will be more. So we all need to focus on these scientific aspects also. which are making our theory very much strong about Adi and Vyadi. So we have to focus on the yoga in the present scenario. So we all know that a new normal requires new habits and some creative thinking about psychological well-being. Now that many of us are forced to work remotely full time, need to take care of our young ones, need to take care of our old members of the family during the working hours also, and we are feeling stuck of isolation, and we are separated from our loved ones and have reduced options for regular physical exercises and social activities, we must think differently at this present time. So we must think differently and creatively about ways to keep healthy in of our mind and body. So I suggest you to practice yoga daily for yourself and your family's well-being in this difficult time. And at last, I would like to emphasize on the theme of the conference, that is webinar. This is told that Samatvam Yog Chite. You have to keep this in mind. This is the logical phenomena. And at last, I would like to say, may we fight the enemy within, overcoming fear, thus strengthening our ability to fight the external enemy, COVID-19. So at last, I would like to thank Yogi Yoga classes for providing this opportunity to express my views in front of the other people about the fear psychosis which I have felt in this lockdown period. And I would like to thank the whole organizing, congratulate whole organizing team on for successfully conducting this webinar. And I would like to thank all my teachers, all my colleagues who have supported me in this lockdown period and during this COVID-19. So I feel all of us should be thankful to each and every one of us who has made us to be connected with each other. Thank you, and thank you everyone.